Hi, everybody. Welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and this is yet another video in my A Song of Ice and Fire lore series where I'm covering an A Song of Ice and Fire character. And yeah, so let's just get into it. Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and yeah, Ellyn Reyne. So, if you don't know what's going on here, this is what's going on. Pause it, read it. You guys know. And yeah, so talking about a member from House Reyne, and also this is if you want to talk about like the Reyne and Tarbeck rebellion, and then like all the politics leading up to it and afterwards, um, in the Westerlands. This is kind of like the character. This is our vehicle through that. So I do kind of cover a lot of the Reyne Tarbeck Rebellion in a whole in this video, but it is mostly through the guise of Ellyn Reyne, so she's not involved in it. I do kind of continue after her death, but just to kind of like cover the rest of the conflict. Spoilers. So yeah, we're going back in time a little bit, and we're talking about Ellyn Reyne. So let's just Philip DeFranco into it. All right. So Ellyn Reyne, also known as Ellyn Tarbeck, was a noblewoman of House Reyne who married first into House Lannister and later into House Tarbeck. She was the daughter of Lord Robert Reyne and the sister of Lord Roger Reyne, who I love. I got to talk about a little bit. I had to, while I was making this video, I made a short that probably came out weeks and weeks ago now because I filmed these like weeks in advance about Roger Reyne just so I could talk more about Roger Reyne. Yeah. Okay. So she's Roger Reyne's brother. Our story starts during the reign of Maekar Targaryen and continues during Aegon the Unlikely's reign and then into Jaehaerys the Second's. So we're going to cover quite a lot of time. Ellyn was described as a strong-willed, hot-tempered, and ambitious woman who dreamed of not only marrying into the wealthy House Lannister, but of also making herself Lady of Casterly Rock. So she's got ambition in something that this world, and probably ours too, don't like is that strong, powerful woman, right? Like, especially in the Song of Ice and Fire world where women don't really have a lot of, like stuff, like even the most powerful woman is still not as powerful as the most powerful guy, right? Maybe not Danny, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like knock it down. It's patriarchal society. That's how it goes. Men, inherit more or whatever. I don't need to explain the patriarchal societies. But anyways, so yeah, so she's like a strong-willed, ambitious woman, which a lot of people, I'm assuming, in this world aren't a fan of. That's what I'm trying to get at. Oh my god, soapbox! I'm gonna get off the soapbox and I'm gonna use it to wash myself. I took a shower today, but still, that's a weird joke. House Reyne of Castamere was a noble house from Castamere, believe it or not, in the Westerlands. They rock a red lion with a forked tail, a gold tongue, and claws on silver. It is a fantastic sigil. I like this line more than the Lannister line, although I do like the Checky line of Osgray more than this one. Checky looks so good. Okay. House Reyne was an ancient line dating back to the days of the first men. They made their subterranean seat at Castamere, established around a rich system of mines, caves, and tunnels. Nothing can go wrong there. All right. The mines, silver and gold made them wealthy, much like the Lannisters of Casterly Rock. The Reynes became powerful in the Westerlands in the time they styled themselves as Lords of Castamere. They are like the Lannisters, but they're red. It's simple. You guys get it? All right. So let's get back into talking about Ellyn. So, maid of House Reyne, due to House Reyne's position and wealth, Lord Robert Reyne had little trouble arranging his daughter's betrothal to Sir Tywin Lannister, um, the oldest son and heir of Gerald the Lion, or the Golden. So Gerald the Golden, let's figure this all out. I'm going to do this really quick, right? Tyrion and Jaime and Cersei, their dad, Tywin, his sister Jenna, and then there's like Kevin, Tybalt, oh, so on and so forth, Girion. And then his dad is Tytos, and then he's got a bunch of brothers that we're talking about right now. And then Tytos's dad is Gerald the Golden, right? So Tytos was actually the third son. Okay, so Ellyn, was betrothed to the oldest, Tywin. All right, so that's where we're at on the timeline. So this would have been Tyrion's uncle. No, sorry. Tywin Lannister's uncle. His dad's older brother is who she's betrothed to. Got it? Got it. All right. Sir Tywin Lannister, the oldest son and heir of Gerald the Golden, Lord of Casterly Rock. However, in 233 AC, House Peak was super mad about losing the first and second Blackfire rebellions, like for sure, yo. Losing lands and a lord. Yeah, their lord died. So they decided to rebel. Ellyn's betrothed and her father were slain in the Peak Uprising. Damn, that stinks. All right, but Roger Reyne, who I love, the new Lord of Castamere and Ellyn's brother, executed 7 captive peaks while at Starpike. Everyone's like, whoa, they're captive. It's like, my dad died, I'm mad. So, and then Maekar Targaryen, who was like, King Maekar was running this in the Reach at Starpike, and he died. So Maekar's death led to political chaos, which eventually led to Aegon the Fifth, Aegon the Unlikely. Right, so Egg. Okay, Ellyn seduced the new heir, twin brother of Tywin, named Tion. Even though Tion was betrothed to the daughter of Lord Rowan, Gerald, having witnessed how quickly Ellyn acted after the deaths of Robert and Tywin, thinking that she's just a gold digger, opposed this match. But the old sick lord eventually let his son follow his heart. So yeah, Tion's like, I like her, Dad. I don't want to marry the daughter of Lord Rowan. I want to marry Ellyn. And he's like, she doesn't care about you. Just wants that Lannister gold. And finally he's like, I'm not going to keep fighting with you. So there you go. There was a thing I left out because the card was kind of getting the slide was getting a little wordy. But I'm going to bring up semi-canon sources a lot. And I eventually just started leaving all these in. And but I'm going to tell you right now. So when I say semi-canon sources later on, specifically for this video, most of this video is coming from the World of Ice and Fire book. So published on the website straight up, like for this was a unabridged World of Ice and Fire where the Westerlands was much longer. So none of that made it in. Like a lot of the Westerlands portion got cut down for the book for reasons. But George did write it. That doesn't make it canon though. So I will be saying semi-canon. So every time I say semi-canon in this video, I'm specifically talking about a web page where it's the unabridged version written in 2014 before it got edited down. So since it was never published, it isn't technically canon, but it's still worth saying, right? And none of it contradicts with anything that actually was used. So think of it like Star Wars Legends. I'm not opening that can of worms. That was a joke. Did I finish this one? Yeah. Oh, so in that semi-canon, I didn't even finish what I was going to say. In that semi-canon source, what I left out of here, not because it was semi-canon, but because it was just this card was getting too long, was that Tywin, while he was dying, turns to his twin brother Tion and he's like, "Take care of Ellyn for me." And he's like, "Will do." All right. I mean, maybe that's what Tywin meant. Like, you marry her, make sure she stays safe. I love her. And Tion's like, oh, I'll take care of her. I just thought that was a little goofy. Like, oh man. He comes back, he's like, hey, I'm sorry, your betrothed passed. And she's like, I know. And he's like, but button. He did say take care of you. Like, it's such like a Westerosi adult film. All right, moving on. Lady of Lannister. Lady Ellyn married I said Tywin. Oh, twin. Oh my god, I'm not reading. Married twin of Tywin, Tion Lannister, and in 235 AC with Gerald Lannister twice widowed and refusing to remarry. Ellyn became Lady of Casterly Rock in all but name. As Gerald became less involved in ruling, Ellyn became a rival of Jane Marbrand, the wife of third son of Gerald, Tytos Lannister. Yeah, that's Tywin's mama is Marbrand. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Ellyn hosted tourneys and balls and splendid court filled with musicians and artists and mummers and all kinds of fancy schmancy crap, right? She also used her new position to empower House Reyne. Wow, weird. Why would you do that? Ellyn lavished her kin, such as her brothers, Roger and Reynard, with offices, honors, and lands. Yeah, so when she's like kind of de facto lady of Casterly Rock because she's the highest up like lady, right? Because Gerald doesn't have a wife anymore. And he's like not really ruling anymore. So I'm assuming Tion is doing it. So she's like kind of taking over court, right? And she just starts like, let's do fancy balls and stuff. And as she's doing that, she's like, by the way, Roger, here's some stuff. Reynard, here's some stuff. And he's just kind of setting the house Reyne up a little bit, right? So, yeah. Widow of Lannister. Well, that was quick. During the reign of Aegon the Unlikely, Aegon the Fifth Targaryen, the Fourth Blackfire Rebellion broke out when Daemon the Third Blackfire led his forces across the Narrow Sea with Aegor, Bittersteel Rivers, and the Golden Company at his back. The rebellion soon ended after it started at the Battle of Wendwater Bridge, where the Blackfire army was defeated and Sir Duncan the Tall of the Kingsguard slew Daemon III. Tion Lannister died at the Wendwater, dying without issue. To prepare Tytos for rule, Gerald became involved in the affairs of the Westerlands again, and most of the Rains departed for Castamere because Tion died, so they're kind of there for her, and she's no longer like lady. So now Tytos is being prepped, and yeah, so Ellyn, due to the widow's law, okay, I'm going to read specifically. So the widow's law was a law put in by good Queen Alysanne during old King Jaehaerys' rule, right? She had a bunch of different cool laws, and the widow's law was one of these. She eventually also pushed to abolish the Lord's rights at First Night, right? But anyways, so the widow's law had a bunch tied to it. So I'm just reading the one specific line that specifies for what we're talking about, right? So I'm not telling you guys the whole law, but a lot of it was just she didn't like seeing how widows were treated. Alysanne didn't. Well, she was like traveling through Westerlands in one of her many progresses, and she put up like a few laws, and this was one of them, to start protecting widows after the Lord died, right? So you're a lady. So instead of like the sun immediately coming up and booting you, right? You still have power, or so on and so forth, right? So the widow's law. Okay. During the not power, but rights. So all right. So this widow law specifically that I'm talking about is a lord's widow, be she second, third, or fourth wife, could no longer be driven from the castle nor deprived of her servants, clothing, or income. So you can't just boot her on the streets, right? So they can't just boot because of this law. She can leave, of course, but she has to on her own accord. Tytos can't say, Ellyn, My brother's dead. Get out of here. Like, he can't do that. So she can stay. So she does. So she remained at the Rock, but her influence did decline in favor of Tydos's wife, Jane. I already said it, Marbrand. According to Maester Belden, Ellyn unsuccessfully attempted to bed Tydos. Well, that's goofy. But yeah, apparently she tried to like, hey, why don't you make me your wife? And he's like, no, man, I'm all about Jane Marbrand. Get out of here. So yeah, it didn't work. According to that Maester, who knows if it was true? The Maester might just be saying that because she's a powerful, ambitious woman. Of course, maybe they want to paint her as like being a crazy person, right? I got nothing against good old who we're talking about here. I forgot her name, Ellyn Reyne. Like, she doesn't come off as anything besides like an ambitious woman. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe you guys hate her. I don't know. All right. So she had to marry a new person. So she married Lord Tarbeck, so Lady Tarbeck. Lord Gerald Lannister had Ellyn hastily wed to the widowed Waldron Tarbeck, the 55-year-old Lord of Tarbeck Hall. Lord Toad, they called him. The fool at Casterly Rock called the rivalry between Ellyn and Jane the War of the Wombs. What? It's such a goofy thing that exists. Okay. According to semi-canon sources, the unabridged version of the World of Ice and Fire, which I already talked about, Ellyn had two daughters, Rohan and Sorella, and a son, Tion, with her aged husband. So yeah, she named her son, according to the unabridged version that technically isn't canon, after her widowed husband. I think Waldron would be like, all right, sure. Like, you know, Tion's not a threat to me. He's passed already, right? So do I still got more? Yeah. Ellyn was present at the feast in the Westerlands when the betrothal of Tydos Lannister's daughter, Jenna Lannister, to Emmon Frey was announced. Lol. Ellyn laughed, probably because she did not find it a good match. Of course she didn't. It's like not even the heir of the twins. It's just a random Frey. Not a random Frey, but still. Ellyn used House Lannister's wealth to rebuild Tarbeck Hall. Here we go. When Sir Tywin, sorry, I can't get these names right. When Sir Tywin Lannister, the heir of Lord Tydos, demanded that the debts owed to Casterly Rock be repaid, Ellyn's toady husband, Waldron, tried to intimidate Tydos, but was subsequently imprisoned by Tywin. So he's like, hey, you guys keep taking our money, pay it back. And Waldron's like, what you gonna do about it, boy? And he's like, I'm gonna imprison you. Like, oh, wait, no. That's not what I meant. Yeah, talk crap, find out, Waldron. So Tydos was okay, where was I? Yeah, so Ellyn then took two Lannisters of Lannisport hostage, as well as Stafford Lannister, whose sister Joanna was now betrothed to Tywin. Ellyn let Tydos know that she would kill the Lannisters if he harmed her husband, Waldron. Although Tywin told his dad, he advised him to send Lord Tarbeck back in 3 pieces, one for every Lannister taken. Hardcore. Instead, he returned Waldron unharmed, and in addition, he forgave the Tarbeck debt to House Lannister. Come on, Tydos. Like, you're working against me here. If I was Tywin, I would hate his dad. He's like, like, I'm trying to do something here, Dad. Come on. You're messing up my groove. Try to be a really strong lord. Just keep lending money to people. Stop. Oh, that's my young Tywin Lannister impression. Come on, Dad. Oh, they're so lame. All right. Reyne and Tarbeck Revolt. Sir Tywin Lannister remained determined to defeat the disloyal vassals of House Lannister. In 261, less than a year after the exchange of captives, Tywin sent ravens to Tarbeck Hall and Castamere demanding answers for their crimes at Casterly Rock. As he expected, Lord Roger and Reyne Reyne, as well as Lord Walderin and Lady Ellyn Tarbeck, rose in rebellion. So I am kind of skipping the War of the Nine Penny Kings kind of happened in between here, which then kind of like gave Tywin a little bit more right, a little more oomph in between the like, yeah. But anyways, it's not directly related to Ellyn Reyne, so that's why I didn't do it. So yeah. As expected, they like rose in rebellion, renouncing their fealty to Casterly Rock. Without permission of Lord Tytos Lannister, Tywin marched against the upstart vassals with 3,000 men-at-arms and crossbows and 500 knights. Wow. Because of the Lannisters' march on Tarbeck Hall was so sudden, Lord Walderin Tarbeck had no time to rally his banners as such. He met the Lannister host in battle with only his household knights. Oh no, a short, bloody battle ensued in which the Tarbecks were butchered. According to semi-canon sources, the same one as last time, Lord Walderin's heir, his only surviving son from his first marriage, died during the battle, but Walderin himself was taken alive, as were two of his sons from his second marriage. Though Walderin expected to be ransomed, they were all executed. The heads of Walderin and his sons were impaled on spears and led the march onto Tarbeck Hall. Brutal. So again, that last little bit isn't canon because it didn't make it into the World of Ice and Fire book proper, but it is in the unabridged version. So yeah, so Tywin like put all their heads on spikes and made them like be in front. So when Tarbeck Hall sees them coming, she's gonna see Walderin and all of his sons' heads first, and she's gonna be like, oops. She doesn't say that though. She's got a little bit more vigor than that. All right. The fall of Tarbeck Hall and Reyne. The fall of Tarbeck and Reyne. At Tarbeck Hall, Lady Ellyn expected the long siege. She sent ravens to Castamere along with her brothers Roger and Reynard for help. According to semi-canon sources, the same one, when Sir Kevin under the peace banner demanding her surrender, she laughed at him, telling him, "You are not the only lions in the West, sir. My brothers are coming, and their claws are just as long and sharp as yours." However, Sir Tywin had siege engines prepared in less than a day. These were used to throw a great boulder over the walls onto Tarbeck's aged keep, bringing the castle down upon Ellyn and her son, Tion. All resistance ended, and the gates were thrown open, and Tywin, Tywin commanded the castle be put to the torch. For a day and at night, the flames burned until nothing was left of Tarbeck Hall except for blackened, empty shell. We still got 3 slides left, but Ellyn's dead. He dead. She dead. So yeah, she's like, my brothers are coming. And he's like, well, that rock's coming too. Oh, did we win? Oh, guys, is that bad? We won really easily. Is that a bad thing? So now my impression of Tywin is like, oh, what's up? It aged a little more. So, of course, she didn't say it to him. She said it to Sir Kevon, but then Tywin showed up, and Kevon's like, I don't know, man. They said that there's this, she's sending her brothers. And he's like, it's all right. We're sending our rock. Boom! Check that out. Bleed at. That's what Tywin said. I didn't make that one up. It is quoted somewhere in the book where he said, bleed at. Anyways. All right. let's keep going. Like I said, I still got a couple more slides. Fleeing back to Castamere. So Roger Reyne of Castamere. I love this art, by the way, of Roger Reyne. I like want to make a lion enthusiast like D&D ranger based off this art. Just like he loves the color red and he loves the lions. Because look at that art. It's great. He arrived with 2,000 hastily gathered men following the exhausting march in time to witness. So he witnessed Tarbeck's Hall of Flame. So they got there. They're like, go! Him and 2,000 guys. Most reports claim the Lannister had 3 times as many men as the Reynes. A few unreliably claim 5 times as many. That'd be a lot of men. Roger hoped that surprise would give him an advantage inside of the attack. So he shows up, place is still burning, Lannister men are there, and he's like, go! Bah! Didn't work. He's like, well, surprise! You know, if you're getting a fight and there's like 5 people and there's just you, just because you're like, no, I'm going to punch them all first. They're still going to just beat the tar out of you, buddy. All right. And that's what happened. Roger hoped that the surprise would give him an advantage, but it didn't. The numbers were just too high. Lord Roger saw no other option but to flee, run away. As he fled back to Castamere, half his men are already dead, and Roger was wounded by a crossbow bolt, not a boat, not an entire boat shot by a crossbow, between the shoulders. And when he fled, he had to be carried back to Castamere. All right, let's run. Okay, I mean, you guys run and carry me. I can't go, man. Just got shot. Got shot right here. All right. Sir Tywin Lannister arrived at Castamere 3 days later after the burning of Tarbeck Hall. Rayner believed that they held the advantage as Tywin could not possibly fight his way inside the mines. But when his people were all inside, Rayner sent terms to surrender. Tywin stated that the Reynes would be loyal or surrender to Tywin, and he stated that the Reynes would be loyal vassals in return of Tywin's brothers serving within Castamere as hostages. So, yes. Oh wow, I forgot that. So he's like, "All right, guys, we surrender. Tywin, send us your brothers as hostages, and we'll." Okay, so the Rains of Castamere. Tywin laughed, most likely. He didn't laugh much, but he ignored Reynard's terms and instead ordered his men to seal the entrances of the mines. When all entrances were blocked with tons of stone, earth, and soil, leaving no way in or out, Tywin had his men dam the nearby stream and divert it to the nearest mine entrance. Water easily found its way through the tiny gaps of rubble and blocked the mouth of the entrance. Lannister men stationed at the most distant entrance claimed they could hear faint screaming and shouting, but by daybreak there was nothing but silence. None of the 300 men, women, and children within ever emerged from the mines again. Wow. They, as commanded Tywin, the castle to be the castle on the surface between set ablaze. Yeah. So you guys know the Rains of Castamere, but that's what just so he's like, I'll just drown them all. You're gonna hide in that hole? All right. I'm just gonna cover the hole and flood it. See ya. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. By the end of the campaign, the rebellious House Reynes and Tarbecks were completely obliterated. The ruined, blackened, and crumbled castle of Castamere and Tarbeck Hall stand empty to this day as a reminder to those who scorn the power of the rock. Castamere's mines have remained sealed. Tywin's actions to restore House Lannister's power immortalized in the song of the Rains of Castamere, and it is now known to have been used as a threat against other troublesome bannermen. Yeah, if anyone was ever like, I'm not afraid of you, Tywin, he's like, hey, Bard, play this song. It's like, okay, all right, I'll calm down. Don't have him play it. That's absurd. So, yeah, we got one more slide. I knew this was going to be a long video. It's a long video, but I'm only doing one of these a week now. So here's the long ones. Screw it. We got some tinfoil. I found some crazy weird tinfoil. So let's go, yo. Tinfoil of Castamere. I actually found some good old-fashioned tinfoil. Lady Hat, that was a person's name. Lady Hat on Westeros.org brings forth a post, or just posted. Why did I have the word brings it? Posted a theory that Petyr Baelish is actually a descendant of House Reyne, and his ladder of chaos stuff is just revenge against the Lannisters and also the Starks, I guess. But the super short version, Petey had the Lannister green eyes, which means he's from the West. Peter's father, a hedge knight in this, met a female Reyne. Well, he was a hedge knight. Met a female Reyne descendant after the War of the Nine Penny Kings in 259, before the rebellion and the downfall of House Reyne. It is not hard to assume that at least one member of House Reyne, because yeah, we kind of covered that there's a lot of like kids and stuff, and we're not sure if they all died. We're pretty sure because it just says they killed them all. So we're assuming they all did, right? So, but this is like, what if one of them didn't? And at least one member of House Reyne was not at home during the time that Tywin's men came, and then they made up the whole Braavosi story as a cover-up. Like, oh, I'm just from Braavos, right? Yeah. So it's because we don't know who Peter's mom is. So his motivation, okay, where was I at? So they just made it all up as a cover story, the whole Braavosi thing, purchasing a small insignificant plot of land far away from the West, right? Peter would have been born 8 years after the destruction of House Reyne, so his motivation came from his parents teaching him about their former wealth and glory and resentment towards the Lannisters. But this could explain why he feels worthy of such a highborn woman like Catelyn Tully. So yeah, go check that out. I thought I wrote more. Yeah. So I'm not going to cover all the evidence, but find it yourself. Yeah, if you want to. So yeah, go check it out. Westerosi.org. If you just type in like Ellyn Reyne theories or even House Reyne theories, or maybe you could just type in like Petyr Baelish is a Reyne, I'm sure this Westeros.org would pop up and you can read it. There's a lot more evidence. Do I buy it? You guys know me. I don't really buy a lot. It's out there. I don't buy it, but it is super fun. It is fun. I do think it's fun. It gives just like one more reason why Baelish is gonna like, ladder of chaos stuff other than just being Petyr Baelish. I don't think the evidence is there, but whatever. It's fun. I like it. So, and just a little bit of tinfoil for your day. So yeah. There you go, guys. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. Go check out my other stuff. So please, I got so many of these. If you enjoyed this, find one of my many playlists of pick a region and watch all the videos of the characters I cover from there. I've covered a lot of characters now. So go check them out. So thank you for watching. This one was really long, but I covered all of Castamere, like the Rains of Castamere, the whole Reyne Tarbeck Rebellion. It's a lot. So, okay. Talk to you guys later. Thanks again. And don't piss off Tywin Lannister. Peace.